Hi everyone, welcome to our parent orientation here at Washington School. I'm Bill Mulcahy and I'm the principal. I've been the principal here for 16 years. I'm really looking forward to having the kindergarten students come over to join our school community. Just to give you a little bit of background about myself, this will be my 30th year in the Rutherford School District. I began my career as a 6th grade teacher at Union School. I taught social studies there. And after my time at Union School, I moved up to Rutherford High School, where I spent 3 years. First year full-time teaching. My second 2 years, I was the director of athletics at the high school. During my time at Union and my early time at the high school, I coached basketball, baseball, and track at Rutherford High School. After I said in my time as athletic director, I became the assistant principal at Union School. I stayed there for 3 years, and I came here in 2005 when we had gone under a new construction project in Rutherford. I came to be the principal at Washington School. I often tell the same story each year, that when I came here, my sons were 4 and 6 years old. So I told all of the parents, I'm in the same boat as you. I'll be learning as you are. Our children are the same age. And all of a sudden, the years have gone by pretty quickly. And my sons are now 22 and 20 years old. So I tell you that for one reason to just let you know how long I've been here, but also to just remind you of how the time will go fast, and we hope you enjoy your time here at Washington School and beyond. I'd like to start with our mission statement. Students at Washington School will learn and grow academically to the best of their capabilities in a productive and positive learning environment. What does that mean? The productive and positive learning environment. For me, the number one priority is that we have a climate in our building that is safe for children, that helps them feel comfortable so that they can learn. When I first came over in 2005, I was bringing a lot of staff members with me from Union School. We had just built on to Washington School, and I had a very strong existing staff here as well. And at that time, I felt that it was the most important thing that I could do was to rely on a great staff and to build a climate where, as I said, the students feel safe, comfortable, and they're happy coming into school every day. We call it the driveway test. When the students come up the driveway every morning, I want to make sure that all of them feel comfortable and happy coming into our school. If they're feeling anything uneasy for any reason, it's something that we need to take care of. And my bottom line belief is that if the students are comfortable and enjoy their school environment, they will learn. I'll tell you a little bit about our Washington School history. The school was established in 1913, so we are entering our 108th year of educating children at Washington School. If you come into our original building, you'll be shocked that it's 108 years old. It was our head custodian, Mr. Garcia, and his staff do a tremendous job of taking care of our building. But we are entering our 108th year. For most of those years, this was a K-5 building. Now and then for a while, it was a 1-5 building, but most of it was a K-5 building that was a neighborhood school, meaning it was a small school. There was one class for each grade level, and that was the same at Lincoln School and at Sylvan School. It all changed in 2005 when we went through our referendum and we built onto our schools, and Lincoln and Washington School received major overhauls. At Washington School and Lincoln, we added an additional 15 classrooms at that time. We added an art music suite, our nurses room, a new library, a multi-purpose room, which is beautiful, and it's used not only by our school, but by the Rutherford Recreation Department throughout most of the year and on weekends. And we also updated our office space. So that's when I came over as principal, was at that point in 2005. We opened the kindergarten center in 2014. So what happened then is we became a 1-3 school, 1st through 3rd grade school, as we opened the K Center and we offered full-time kindergarten. Soon after that, we realized that we could use that space for other productive reasons. And so we started our pre-K program. So we offer an integrated pre-K 3-year-old program in the morning, integrated pre-K 4-year-old program in the afternoon. And then we also have our pre-K 3 and 4-year-old ABA program. So Washington School by the numbers. We have 4 sections per grade level. So we have 4 first grades, 4 seconds, 4 thirds. We have approximately 290 students. We will have approximately 290 students next year in those 3 grade levels. When we add in our pre-K programs, we have 335 students approximately as we head into the new school year. Our class sizes are about 22 to 26 children. That's in first through third grade. And overall, we have a staff of 55 people, including our teachers, teachers' assistants, our aides, our custodial staff, our office personnel. So it's a pretty big operation for a small school. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the programs and services that we offer at Washington School, and they're complete. We feel like we can service all the needs of all of the children who come here. We have a full-time nurse. Nurse McShane takes care of all of our 504 plans. So if you have a child who has some medical diagnosis that would allow them to have accommodations, Miss McShane will be the one that will sit down with you, have a meeting, and put together a 504 plan for your child. We have a child study team that serves our district, and especially in our case, we have our own child study team that serves our younger population. In our building, we have a learning consultant. She's housed in our building. We also have a school psychologist and a school social worker who float amongst different buildings, but they're part of our child study team. And we also have a behaviorist who is housed in our building as well. We have a student, our learning consultant, by the way, is Mrs. Salter, and our behaviorist is Ms. Lowe. Our student assistance counselor we share with Lincoln School. Our student assistance counselor is Ms. Emily Bregman. We also share her with the Kindergarten Center. So some of you may be familiar with her, but she does a tremendous job. Ms. Bregman and I have worked together for many, many years in Rutherford, and we work together on a lot of different things to help our students as they adjust to our new school and any other needs that they may have. We have speech services in the building. We have occupational therapy and physical therapy in the building. We have a reading specialist, and we have another reading intervention teacher. They are part of our tiered response to intervention system, our RTI program. RTI program, we service our students in first through third grade in math and in literacy. And we offer different tiers. So we have classroom interventions, we have tier 2 and tier 3 interventions, and the intensity becomes more as you move up the different tiers as needed. We have an enrichment program for grades 1 and 2. It's our opportunity for our students to visit enrichment each week and kind of think out of the box and do some creative thinking with Ms. Augustifer. She also is the teacher of our Discovery program, which is a grade 3 program that students qualify for. We have art, music, physical education. Physical education is 2 times per week. We offer a library once a week. We have Spanish lessons weekly. Our grade 3 students also have keyboarding and computer skills weekly. We offer a lab science program in addition to our mystery science program that is part of our science curriculum. We also offer lab science, which is a hands-on science program with Ms. Kessler. And we have a garden out in the back of our school, a 5,000 square foot garden that she utilizes for many of her lessons. We have planting beds there. We have an exploratory zone. And we also have composting zones back there. So she uses that, but a lot of our classroom teachers and even some of our specialist teachers, art, etc., use our garden as well. So your students will certainly be out there. As mentioned, we do offer Spanish in all 3 grades, and we also have co-teaching and inclusive classrooms at all 3 grade levels to benefit our regular education students and also students who are at risk. So what are our core academic programs? Our reading program is Good Habits, Great Readers. It has a couple different features to it, the biggest of which are a shared reading component where the teachers will involve the students in whole group instruction and shared reading, and they will focus on and identify the skills for the week that they will be working on. We also offer guided or leveled reading groups in each of our classrooms so that students are able to work at their own instructional level. So they'll work in small groups with their teachers, sometimes with our reading specialist, so that we offer a combination of whole group instruction, but we also offer small group instruction for reading to target individual needs. Our writing program is Writers Workshop Units of Study. It's Teachers College Reading and Writing Project program from Columbia University. For the last few years, we have actually been a partner school with Columbia University and the Readers and Writers Workshop. And what we have is we have a senior staff developer from Columbia University comes to our school 5 times a year for 90-minute sessions with each grade level where they work. She provides instruction and guidance for our teachers. They go into each classroom that would operate as a lab, so that they can see the teaching in action, and then they come back and debrief. So it's been a terrific program for us. Our phonics word study program is Project Read, and in math, our program is Math in Focus, which is the Singapore math program. It's a program that asks the students to do a lot of creative thinking in math. Think of things in all different ways, concrete to pictorial to abstract, and it takes on that progression from concrete to pictorial to abstract. Technology at Washington School, we're one-to-one, so that means that we have devices for each of our students in our school. So at any time, everyone in the school could be online and on a device at the same time. We have smartboard technology in every classroom in grades 1 to 3 in our pre-K classrooms. We have smartboard technology in almost every other instructional area as well, including our math specialists, our reading specialists. We have Chromebook lockers in every grade 2 and grade 3 classroom. So they have 2 lockers with 12 Chromebooks in each, so they have full sets for their classes. Some of our first grade classes have Chromebook lockers, but they also share Chromebooks from carts too. And we have a Chromebook cart for our enrichment program, discovery program, and our lab science program. So we have plenty, and in our library as well. So we have plenty of Chromebooks available for our students. And we were able to provide devices to assist many of our families during distance learning, and that was a great plus that we had the technology available for them. As far as our daily schedule, and I'm going to talk to you about our schedules, but they're definitely flexible right now, depending on what our needs will be in the fall, what the guidelines that we're going to be following from the State Health Department, etc. So I'll just give you what our usual day is at Washington School. We're offering a before and after care program that the district is now running. We open from 7 a.m. and then we close at 6:30 p.m. so you can have before and after care. We have morning drop-off. It's an open drop-off between 8:10 and 8:30. So we have a drop-off lane, which I'll explain in a little bit, but we open up 20-minute time so that we have, it allows us to bring students into the building over an expanded period and not have a buildup of traffic outside. The students come into our gymnasium, our multi-purpose room, and we all get together at 8:30 for morning assembly. Now we'll see in the fall if we're able to do that, but that's how we usually meet as a school each morning, all the teachers, all the students, and we do some things. We do our flag salute and we'll sing our school song and talk about announcements and things like that. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Lunchtime, our grades 2 and 3 have lunch at the same time, but they don't eat together. One is outside or in our indoor play area in the multipurpose room while the other is eating, and then we flip them at about the 25-minute mark of their lunch period. And then the first graders have their own lunch from 12:35 to 1:20 p.m. Dismissal for grades 1 to 3 is at 3:05 p.m. A little bit more about our drop-off and pickup procedures, and again, subject to change, and I'm sure some of it will change, but what we normally follow is this. I mentioned the 20-minute drop-off period. We have a drop-off lane outside on Washington Avenue. It's a stop, drop, and go lane. Students need to be seated on the right side of the car for safety, so they get out on the curbside. Mr. Garcia is usually outside every morning. I'm out there most mornings. We have teachers who are on duty who are supervising our drop-off indoors and outdoors. We ask that only the first 3 cars drop off. It allows us to have a very smooth transition as we move through our drop-off. 3 cars at a time. We get those students out, we go, and then the next 3 cars pull up. And usually we use our fire hydrant out there as the line of demarcation where you should be in front of to drop off. We ask that you cross at the crosswalk, not anywhere near or through our drop-off zone. So we want, again, for safety for our families and our students. Parents arriving after 8:30 a.m. must come to the office to sign their children in. We tell parents you're not allowed to drop your children off and pull away thinking that they'll get into the building. It is very important. We do not shut children out, but we do have to close the doors at a certain time. It is very important that parents take the responsibility, if you're late, to take your child to the office and sign them in. Dismissal, pickup is at 3:05, as I mentioned. The most important part of that is that our teachers make a one-to-one connection. So they will look and make sure that they see you as a parent or someone else that you've identified who can pick up your child. So that may be a grandparent, it may be a neighbor. Those are people that you designate, but we will not release your child until we see someone that we are familiar with. If you are ever late, you can just come to the office. We will not, as I mentioned, release your child. Your child will be brought to the office by his or her teacher. There's no double parking when you're here for pickup or drop-off. We ask that you do not park along the yellow curbs for the safety. As mentioned earlier, our dismissal time is at 3:05 p.m. At dismissal time, we make sure that we make a one-to-one connection so that the teacher will not dismiss your child unless we make a connection with you as a parent, a grandparent, a neighbor, or someone that you have designated who can pick up your child. It's very important you take care of that on InfoSnap in August when you get the email from our tech department that you designate all of those people who are able to pick up your child, because if not, we will not release your child unless that person is part of that list. During dismissal and drop-off, we also emphasize that there is no double parking. We ask them make sure that people do not park illegally in the yellow curbs. That's for the safety of everyone, the visibility, so that we can safely see and navigate the corners. And there are no bicycles allowed during the drop-off or the pickup time after school. No bicycles are allowed on the school grounds, and there are no pets that are allowed on the school grounds either. We have different schedules for our one-session days and our delayed opening days. Some of those one-session days are designated, like the day before our Thanksgiving break. Sometimes we have to have a one-session day depending on, we may all of a sudden have bad weather come in the morning. We also have delayed opening days, mostly due to snow or bad weather, that we come in a little bit later. So our one session day begins at 8:30 a.m. Our dismissal is at 12:30. That's for our grades 1 through 3 again. Our delayed opening, our day is from 11 a.m. until 3:10 p.m. And the drop-off is again a 20-minute period. So the drop-off is 10:40 to 11 a.m. and we begin school at 11. On the one session day, I'll go back and just reiterate that school begins at 8:30 as normal, and our drop-off is between 8:10 and 8:30. We have a couple of different forms that are important. As mentioned, the dismissal authorization, you'll complete that with InfoSnap, must be completed by the first day of school. You'll get information from the district as you did last year to complete your InfoSnap. So we have all of those people designated. And then your dismissal permission slip is very important. If you would like to have your child leave the school building unescorted, or if the child will be picked up by a sibling, you need to fill out the dismissal permission slip. We will release them to siblings only if we have that dismissal permission slip. You can get a lot of information about our school. You'll get a summer letter from us in August. There are plenty of ways to get information. You can visit our district website, www.rutherfordschools.org, as you know, as kindergarten parents. And there's a lot of information. There are links to the different schools there. You can search all of the curriculum in the district if you go to quick links on the district website. You can go to Washington School Link to get information about our school. We have our Google Calendar on there. We send out a monthly calendar. There's also a section that's called A Word from Mr. Mulcahy that I update every month or every 2 months, depending on the season. We ask that you take a good look at the Student Parent Handbook, and the link is there on this slide. And then we also have on our district website parent training videos, so they're very important as well. Last year we also offered, as you may know, our Parent Academy. We hope to do that again this school year. We did a number of different things in our school. We have literacy workshops for parents, we have math workshops for parents. We had several workshops on, we called Building Resiliency and Independence in K-3 Children. And those were important, well attended. Ms. Bregman and I presented those, and we hope to be able to do those again this year. At Washington School, character education is very important. It goes back to what I talked about in the beginning of this presentation, that our school climate is the most important thing to us here. We practice the 6 pillars of character. They are caring, citizenship, fairness, respect, responsibility, and trustworthiness. You'll get a schedule at the beginning of the year. We emphasize a lot of our character ed in the beginning of the year in September and October. We do an overview of all of these things. And then once we hit November or December, we concentrate on one character trait per month. We'll have a color day that the PTA will sponsor, so the children, staff will all wear the same color. For instance, for caring, it's the color red, so we all wear red that day. It's Red Day, and we talk to the children about caring in our morning assembly, in our classrooms, etc. We talk to them, we read them books about it, and we have projects or activities that they can be involved in that they do in school and at home. and we ask you to sign off on those so that we're working together to help continue our character education program in our school. We have different assembly programs throughout the year. Usually we tie in at least one of them to character education. Others are academically based, but it's important to us that we're always talking about these things so that our students are acting appropriately in school, treating one another properly, and as we always said, being comfortable in our learning environment at Washington School. We talk about common courtesies a lot. So we'll talk with our children during our morning assemblies. We'll talk about just please and thank you and all of those different common courtesies and how we should treat people, how we should treat people in our classrooms, on the playground, in the lunchroom, etc. We also talk about patriotism at our morning assemblies. So we do our flag salute every morning. We will sing our school song, but other mornings we may sing a patriotic song, the Star Spangled Banner or something like that. So that's important. Talking about patriotism, we have, unfortunately, we missed it this year since we were not in school, but we have a big assembly every year for our local veterans where we honor our veterans for their service to our country, and all of our students are involved in that, all grade levels. They sing songs, they recite poems, and other things to entertain our veterans, but also to pay respect to our veterans. We have 3 sayings that we reiterate with our children all the time during our morning assembly and at other times. I'm going to go to the one that's listed last on this slide first. And we kind of have assigned them to grade levels. They're all responsible for reciting this at our morning assembly. But our first graders usually remind us to work hard and be nice to people. That's a common theme. That's a theme at Washington School that we like to follow. The second one, our second graders emphasize to us, and we say, keep it cool at Washington School. And they know that keep it cool at Washington School is the way that we remind ourselves that there's no bullying at our school, that we treat everyone with respect, we treat everyone properly. We may not be best friends with everyone, but we're civil toward everyone in our school. And by doing so, we keep it cool every day at Washington School. And the last one you may have seen now on some of our school gear, our sweatshirts and t-shirts and so forth, is win the day. And it's something that we talk to our students about. What does it mean to win the day? To go out every day just to try to do your best for yourself, for others, ways that you can treat other people, the hard work that you put in every day, etc. So win the day is a common theme here at Washington School as well. Finally, folks, I just wanted to, again, welcome you to Washington School. I really look forward to having your children here. I'm sure you'll be getting a lot of information from us over the summer as we make alternate plans for how we will follow guidelines that will be set out for us on how we can do everything from our drop-off and pick-up to how we'll conduct ourselves during the day in the lunchroom and in our classrooms, etc. But that's all to follow. For now, I greatly appreciate you tuning in and learning a little bit about our school. I look forward to meeting each and every one of you and meeting your children as well, and looking forward to a terrific 2020-2021 school year. Thank you again. Have a great day and win the day.